you know, my rump was killing me.
Can you see the screen?
Okay. Yeah, I'd sing something.
I got my arm behind your back. I said,
Today, I'll tell you what happened. Today, while they were playing that there, even now, I hate to say this, but I've been thinking about you all.
Anyway, Dad, sing something.
Sing something, okay?
Yeah. That's Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells, Jingle
I have in
Bells.
my heart,
Jingle bells all
and it's not coming out natural.
Oh.
These are those two little dolls. This picture here, that's the one.
I'll tell you how we met. He had a lot of girlfriends, but he wasn't crazy about nobody. That's the funny part.
No, when I was young, I never take any stuff from nobody. So I took this girl over here in the park to see the monkey on Thrill Park. And we met a boy that he lived a block away from us. He says, if you don't give me 25 cents, no, 50 cents, I'm going to squeal you on the park over here with Johnny. I said, that's okay, I'll give you 50 cents. I gave it 50 cents. And when I went home, we lived in the same street.
No, you didn't.
Sure, I live on the same street.
No, you live in Valley then. Look at.
Oh, yeah, Lynn Valley Street.
So, what happened?
So,
Oh,
I got mad.
my brother got mad.
I got
because he
mad.
was
And I went over her house, I rapped the door, and I found her washing the floor
washing the
with a
liquid
bucket and
goddamn.
a rag and washing the floor. And her mother, she said to me, come in, come in, come in. She saw me, she says, come in,
This
come
is
in.
got a maid in here washing the floor.
You got a colored girl over here cleaning the floor. She says to me, sit down, sit down. Well, I sit down, you know, she talked to me real nice. I sit down, and she says, what do you come over here for? I says, I come over, I understand you, boy, they want to look, they're looking for me, they want to let me have it, beat me, they want to fight me. I had a 38 in my pocket.
You didn't have no 38.
I had 38.
Oh, you lied. You didn't have nothing.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
lying.
Well, listen to this one. I had 38 in my pocket. Because I don't know what happened in Cheyenne. They also said
Now I'll tell you the way we met.
they also said in the lower
We were coming home from church. We were coming home from church. And as I was coming home from
We
church.
never had a church come home from
And
the
that
park.
goes up the park, you know, with my girlfriend Hilda. A girlfriend named Hilda. Already, you know.
Talk over there.
And I says, and he says, how about going, let's go out. It's not like I'll make a date with you. So,
Who said that?
you said that to me.
When did I say that?
When we were in the park, remember? Johnson's Park, Johnson
Oh, yeah.
Square.
He just
And
went
he
right
was
up to
smoking.
you.
Huh?
He just came right up to you and says, let's go out on a date.
Yeah, he says he wanted to go out. So I don't, you
It's
know.
the first time you met him?
Huh?
First time you met him?
Oh no, I
Yeah,
used to
first
see him
time
all
I
the
met
time.
him.
I used to see him all the time. No, I'm very seldom went after much. You know, my mother knew that I liked him. My mother knew I liked him. Because he used to get off 4 o'clock in the morning from work. In the morning. So it was the summertime. So I noticed that he'd come out. So I'd stick my head out the window. Come around the corner. And I, with my hair all curly up to a front, like a wonk. He thought I looked cute. I'll never forget.
Did I say that?
You told me that. You told me that. You told me that, but you told me that I fell in love with you because your hair was curly.
You were a pretty woman when you were young.
So anyway,
Oh, you gotta go look for yourself.
he says to me, you know what? I said, well, what do you want? Why are you smoking a pipe? I says, I don't like pipes. Why are you smoking? Remember that? I says, that's not healthy for you. And he said, why don't you like it? I says, no. And he didn't do it no more. He didn't
Really?
smoke no more pipe. So, and he used to like to smoke cigars too. Small cigars they used to
They
smoke.
had 'em here.
I used to like that too.
They used to
And
make
I
them
said,
in
I
the
don't
house.
like cigars or a pipe. I said, I don't like it. So anyway,
You wanna-
we had that date.
You
My
wanna
girlfriend and him, we had the date. And so he took us to Drew Hill Park. What was it? Drew Hill, Carlin's Park? Carlin's or Drew Hill? What was it? Drew
Mother,
Hill
it
Park?
doesn't make any
I'm
difference. You were in
talking
the park.
to you. Drew Hill Park. Well, anyway,
City monkey.
and so anyway, he says to me, I was sitting with my girlfriend. He goes like this to me in his face. Come here. I said, who, me? He said, yes, you, come here. He wanted me to sit right beside him, you know. And he got a crush on me, you know that. And in fact,
No, but I really got a crush.
so what happened was...
I still got a bad leg.
So my father liked him too. My father liked him.
Oh, you
How
probably
long did you
like
know
me
Daddy
very
before you
much.
married?
Yeah, like me.
How long did you know him before you got married?
But you know what? He had a lot of girlfriends.
How
But
long
then
did
he
you
had
go with
the
Mommy
girls
before you
liked
got
him.
married?
Really?
But
About
he
6
liked
months.
me.
Well, that's good.
6 months.
Well, what was the very
That
first
was
time you
very
saw
long.
him?
Huh?
Huh?
Very
That
first
wasn't
time.
long.
Well,
Well, not long.
and
Yeah,
I
6
liked
months.
him.
What do you want me to
too.
say?
I liked
Do you
him.
A
remember the
year?
very first time you saw him?
Well,
They
I
got
know he
married
used to live in, he used to live in my street, and I used to see a lot of girls talk to him. I used to see a lot of girls talk to him, but I wouldn't go over, you know. And I did go one time accidentally. He went like that to me, and he says, "Come here." He said, "I want you to talk to Miss." And that lady that he bored at was named Miss Jenny too, you know. And I had to be interpreter, you know how to use interpreter? And I don't know what it was, something he wanted, you know. So I told her in English what he wanted, you know. So that's how we got acquainted.
Oh, Daddy couldn't speak English?
Who?
No.
Daddy didn't speak English.
Really?
No, he didn't.
Couple
He didn't know
words,
how.
no.
In fact, Annie Victoria, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Annie DeFranco, you know, Victoria. She was an interpreter for him.
Interpreter.
You know,
Uh-huh.
interpreter. So anyway, then
Rob's got to get a swig.
what's happening? What's happening? No. And he started coming over. My brother got mad because that was the first date I ever had with a fella, and I got dressed. My brother and my girlfriend Hilda was supposed to go. My brother says to me, Jenny, he looked at me. I looked real nice, you know. I had a real sheer dress on. It was beige. And he says, hey, miss, are you having a date with anybody? Don't you look at anybody in the street. And I said, look, my brother never told me that. He says, you know why? Because we fixing ourselves so pretty that he's a young fella and he says, you're a good looking girl. He told me that. She told me, and I was making my bed. That was the same day I was on a date. And I was scared to have a date. But I went anyway with him. It was so
Did your
fun.
mother and father know it?
Huh?
Did your mother and father know it?
My mother?
I think her mother, she know about it.
Your mother, did she know you were going on a date?
No, my brother. My brother. Because you know how men are. You got a sister getting big, you know.
But there was,
And he
was a
noticed I
nasty
looked too
buzzard.
nice that day. He
He
noticed I looked too nice, you know. And he says, hey, don't you look at the guys outside, man. Be careful what you do. And I had this date and I lied to him. I says, I ain't going with no one. And I got dressed just real nice, you know. I had this I used to like all this sheer stuff, you know.
Oh, your brother liked me.
Huh?
He
Yeah.
liked me.
And that's how we met, you know.
6 months later, you got married.
That was always.
6 months later?
Six, how long we waited? 6 months?
It was anything.
6
uh,
months, about
I
what?
don't want to talk too much.
Come on, how long was it? 3 months or 6 months or what?
Don't let me squeal on you.
Right.
Well, anyway.
She used to kiss me every night.
Oh, I wanted to bring, it was so funny.
Every night I used to go to work, I used to kiss her and go to work.
Huh?
You know what I said?
Sweet.
What'd you do?
I
You
don't
used to
wanna-
kiss them every night.
Let's see.
Oh, well, we used to go out in the back, and he had to go to work at 9 o'clock. And we'd go out in the back, and he'd grab me to kiss me.
Darling,
And he used to go and kiss me. Hey, come on, I want you to come outside.
I used to go like this.
Is this before you got married?
Huh?
Before you got married?
I kissed her before I got married.
Oh, no. But you know what? He would never,
Get
not go
nasty.
upstairs
Never got
and
nasty.
leave
with you.
him there by himself. My father wanted us both together with his family. But when he engaged me, he gave me the engagement ring for Christmas. My ring, you know.
Did he really?
Yeah. So we were all downstairs. So he says to me, he grabbed me, he said, let's go upstairs. I said, why? He says, because I got something for you. So I goes upstairs in the dining room, you know, the dining
Wait a
room.
minute, did you know what he was gonna give you? Did you have any idea?
No, I didn't know.
Really? It was a
no.
surprise?
And then he says,
She didn't know I had a little box in my
and he
pocket.
gave me, I still got my watch.
Show me your watch.
I still got that little watch. This is all cool.
Show me
That's
watch,
cute.
Ma.
That's cute.
The watch I spent $100 when I bought that
So
watch.
listen,
Wow.
we goes upstairs,
$100.
listen, we goes upstairs,
Lexington.
shut up. We goes upstairs, and my father
She still got it
looks at him.
with
He
two
looks at
dimes.
he didn't like it.
Who didn't like it?
My father didn't like
Why?
it because he didn't prove I was
Oh,
by ourselves.
wow.
So he comes upstairs and he says to my husband, he says, look, I don't know what you're thinking about. He says, my children, when they get a friend, they gotta be with the family. I don't approve you by yourself.
But he just gave you an engagement ring.
Huh?
But he just given you an engagement ring.
Yeah, so he answered, he only said to me, oh, your brothers was, well, my brother was young yet, and I'm a young sister. I don't like the kids all together, you know, since I want to give you something like that.
Yeah.
So he gives me this
Yeah,
diamond
too
ring.
many kids, you
This
know.
engagement
You
ring.
know, privacy.
He gives
No
me
problem,
the
she-
ring. I
oh.
liked it. He gave me the ring, and he gave it. So we didn't have. So when my father went in from down, you know, he said a word that didn't sound good, you know, and my father took it bad. You know the word he said. You know.
Who said the word, Daddy?
Daddy said a word.
I say troppo bordello, too much noise.
Too much noise. But he said it. The word didn't sound good
In English.
My mother's.
In English, no.
You understand? My father got insulted.
In Italian,
My father
they
got
say
insulted.
different. Sicilian people, they say a different way.
They think it's you going like a whore or something. Whatever. It sound like that, you know?
Oh, my.
Yeah.
He got still
So I took the ring. You finished? What are you doing? Still thinking?
Oh, yeah, we're
This is a
taping. Keep
14,
going.
going on a 14-minute story here.
Yeah, hurry
Keep
up.
going, Grandma.
That's all. So then,
They got
I
engaged.
says to him, not only a week later, it's New Year's, you know? My father says, I don't like this fellow the way he's talking to you know? So this is a decent house, you know? So I says, I come with, I grabbed him and I said to him, here, take your ring, we had an argument. Take your ring and give it to your sister. Send it to your sister. He looks at me and he grabs me by my hand. And I catch the ring to take it off. He says, if you give me that ring, he says, I'll break it on my shoes. I'll bust it. I said, well, don't break it and give it to your sister. I said, bring it to, send it to Italy. I said, that's a diamond ring. That's a lot of money, you know. So he would start crying. He had tears in his eyes. He grabbed me and he said, don't you do this to me. Because I never asked anybody. I gave a woman a ring. I said, I'm serious with you. So I knew that he was there.
Gee, I wish somebody would grab
Hey,
me
put
and
the
do
ring
that.
together in my finger. That was for New Year's.
Gee,
Oh, really?
I wish somebody would grab me and give me a ring
A
like
week.
that.
A week. Not even for a week.
Aw.
That's
Oh,
sweet.
my.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
then
Rob,
we
that's
made
enough
up.
with that camera
We made up. And but he really liked me. He really liked me.
Can we see what we've done here?
Because if you guys
Yeah.
didn't get together, we certainly wouldn't be sitting here.
That's
Well, I'll tell you, when you're single,
Then we had
when
children.
you're single,
Then
you
we
know,
had
you never, before you came messing around with girls, you can only kiss.
And you know what? After I was married, they were all in the neighborhood around where I used to live. All of them, there were nice looking girls around there too. They were all around where my sister was living. I was living with my sister Lena.
But you were the prettiest. He liked you the best.
That's right.
Huh?
He liked you the best because you were the
Yeah,
prettiest.
well, whatever. And whatever. They used to talk to him a lot. But they wouldn't hang around with me much.
Jealousy, maybe.
Yeah.
Girl, women are jealous. They
I live
times
on
have
Proctor
changed.
Street. There was 5, 6 girls sit down the steps,
Yeah.
wait for me to get up and talk with them.
When he
I
leaves me,
move
when he
on
leaves
Forest
me,
Street because I didn't want
to go to the streetcar,
I'm
they
moving
were
on
waiting for
Forest
him in the
Street.
corner.
And here they are.
Holy smokes.
Seven,
they
eight
were
girls
waiting for
sit
him.
down in
They were
front of
waiting
the
for him
steps.
in the corner. And then he told me one day, he says, you know what, they all wait. And after I got married, they were doing the same thing.
Mm.
It's something.
Wow.
All
That's
lined up.
impressive.
But you look at
Pretty
me
good
now.
looking man, huh?
What do you
Pretty
expect
good-looking
for a
guy.
good looking guy?
He was a good
Yes,
What
he
is-
should drag along. This is fun.